This video is especially designed for couples who are constantly having arguments and having a really hard time getting on the same page as far as the money goes in their marriage. And it's not surprising that this happens to a lot of people. There's a lot of statistics that show that money is the number one cause of fights in marriage. So in this video, I'm going to tell a story about a couple that may help to put this in perspective, and then I'm going to talk about two very specific ideas that you can do to overcome these money issues. And you're going to find in this video, I'm going to be talking a lot more about the soft aspects of financial planning. In most of the videos, I'm talking about very specific ways to accomplish something or specific financial planning rules, whereas this is much more going to be based off of the emotions and the psychology that impact your financial plan and the money aspects of your marriage. So I first of all want to start with a story. There's a couple that I've worked with for a really long time, and the husband was raised in a family where the dad never kept a steady job, so they found themselves in times where even there was months where they needed food stamps and were on government support, and so he was very much impacted by this financial instability as a child. So fast forward 20, 30 years, and now he's married. And in their relationship, it has a huge impact to the point where this couple has been on the brink of divorce based off of these money issues. And the situation is the husband is so scared of not having financial stability that he wants to save every single penny that they bring in. You know, he's always looking for the cheapest way to do everything and to save as much money as they possibly can. When they came in, I was shocked to hear about his stress over money because they had close to $100,000 in their emergency fund accounts. They were in really, really good financial shape. But his experiences from the past were so strong that it didn't even allow him to look at the situation rationally. So the wife, she wanted to do some modest things. You know, she doesn't want to live in the absolute cheapest house that's available, and she doesn't want to never take any family vacations, and she doesn't want to always be buying the cheapest possible, you know, clothes and food and everything out there. Now, she does still want to save for the future, but she's wanting to find more of a balance. And so one of the things that, you know, I learned from not only working with this client, I've had a lot of clients in this situation. The thing that we all have to be very, very aware of is that money is very powerful. And the experiences that we had with money growing up are ingrained in us to the point where we can't even always see it. And we bring this to a marriage. So whatever our experiences were with money, they are very deeply ingrained with us, and we bring that into a marriage. And it can, in extreme situations, however I see it happen a lot, it can just be the source of constant arguing and constant fights that could really destroy a marriage. So I'm going to talk about two pieces of advice in order to overcome this. The first is that many couples do end up needing to go see a therapist on this because it does require some really deep acknowledgement of what happened in the past, our reactions to that, and how that impacts our current relationship. So if you're finding yourself in constant fights with your spouse about money, you may want to consider also looking at professional therapy. I believe the second piece of advice has to be very much tied to it, and that is getting a financial game plan in place. And the reason why is because, for example, back to the other example that I gave you earlier, where the couple had $100,000 in savings, I was able to put together an objective plan so that the couple could actually see that was more than enough money that they could ever possibly need, even if one of them were to lose their job for 2 years, that they would still be fine. And so there's this objectivity that comes with putting your own financial plan together so that you can then see things for how they are. And then the two of you can get on the same page and make sure that you're making financial decisions that help you reach towards your goal. And as I talk about so much, it is quite often finding balance, that balance between being a good saver but also being a good spender. There's going to be a second video accompanied with this, and it is a retake video from one of the videos you may have seen that we've sent out to our clients outside of this module. But in that video, I talk about this idea of separating certain amounts of fun money that each spouse can just have to spend on their own and not have to be questioned by the other spouse on what they're spending that money on. And so I encourage you to watch that video. It's a really great complement to this video and will also help you and your spouse find ways